So back when I was 20, I was a sophomore in college in the 2020 fall season. This story takes place before my Halloween banger video, so most of the characters from that video are also going to be in this story. Go check that out if you want a little bit more background as to how our house was set up. But this story takes place in that same house. So I can't really pinpoint what time or what month this occurred, but I do know that it was before October and it was starting to get cold outside. But like I said in the Halloween banger video, I did run track in college. But for those of you who don't know, the fall season is indoor season. And indoor for us was kind of practice for outdoor because our team was so cracked that no one else in the conference really stood a chance. But we were still in preseason at the time, meaning that we had more time to ourselves. So to set the stage, it was probably a Thursday or a Wednesday when Dion kind of called everyone to the living room of the track house. It's me, Trey, Dion, Kenny, Derek, and Paul. Dion starts going on about how he's got this plug that makes some really good edibles. Now at the time, I had not eaten edibles, I had never done edibles, and my buddy Trey barely even smoked. But everyone else in the house had either done edibles or actively did edibles at the time. So me and Trey are like, alright, cool, I'm down, we're down. So Dion says that they were brownie edibles, and I forgot how much he wanted from each of us. But we sent him money and basically that was that. I pretty much forgot about it. I remember going to class and talking to one of the basketball guys and basically he's just talking about this huge party they're gonna throw this weekend and how we gotta go and bring all the girls we know. And I'm like, bet, I guess that's the move because honestly that's kind of basically what the weekend looks like on that campus. Like someone throws a party and you go to it. There's not shit else to do in that town. But the weekend came and it was time to have some fun. And Dion being Dion already has some shit he's been planning. He tells us that later one of his friends is gonna come and pick us up to go get these edibles. And me and Trey get this like childish ass spark in our eyes, like two kids in the back seat when the fucking mom says we can stop at Chick-fil-A. So Kenny's like, bring a fit cause we going to the basketball to pregame with the boys, they throwing and shit. And I'm like, I kind of already knew that. Because that was already the plan. Like basketball's throwing, we're going. Like I said, there's not shit else to do. We go back to our rooms. We play zombies for a while. And eventually we get the text from Dion saying we're ready. So me and Trey throw on our shoes and head outside. Now from what I remember, the guy driving us was this kid. I'm going to call him Matt. This dude, Matt. I don't really remember much about him other than the fact that when we got in his car, he introduces himself. And I guess he was rolling up waiting for us. So we light up and he starts heading out of the parking lot. And immediately I could tell we were in danger because this guy was driving a manual and it was very much apparent that he was not experienced with the stick at all. Like at all. He's like missing shifts and stalling out. You can feel he's not pushing the lever in far enough. So there's like this abysmal grinding noise. And to be honest, none of us even said anything about it. There's one point during the ride where Dion legitimately just drops the gas because the whole car jerked from this guy's driving. But besides that, he was pretty cool. But I'm scrolling on my phone and eventually I look up and I'm like, where the fuck are we right now? When I tell you this place we were in looked like some found footage, snuff film, cabin in the woods type shit. We pull up to this house. And there's this big ass twisting tree growing all over it. And Dion's like, I'll be right back. He hops out and runs across the yard up to this hillbilly ass house. And as soon as he gets to the door, it opens and the house is pitch black inside. He walks in and honestly, that could have been it for him. Like that honestly just could have been his end, but we paid it no mind. He came back out and got in the car and immediately I just smelled straight gas. And that might have honestly been the first red flag, but like I said, I paid it no mind. Me being so inexperienced in edibles, I just paid it no mind. We get back to the crib, and now it just smells like straight pack. Some of our friends who were at the crib waiting for us, when we walked in, they're just like, damn, who picked up the pound? And then Dion just unveils this tray of brownies. So we take one and start eating them. And we're all laughing at first. And then everyone kind of collectively looks at each other as we make this face. It's like this, ew, like, like, ew, nigga, like, It's like this disgusting face as I'm chewing this thing. And I'm getting like Scooby snacks in my mouth. Literal crumbs of weed sediments. And to be honest, that should have been it right there. But Kenny and Dion just start laughing and telling us to finish the whole thing. So we just soldier through it and finish this shit. We like, whatever, man. So we get to the basketball house and they're already pre-gaming. And at first, everything was cool. Everyone was chilling. I remember Trey coming up to me a little later and he's like asking me how I feel. And I'm like, I'm straight, bro. And he's like, bro, I need some water. And as soon as he said that shit, I just feel like my mouth and my throat just go dry. I'm like, you know what? I actually need some water. Like, I'm thirsty as fuck. So I remember trying to get to the kitchen, and by now there are people coming in for the party, like the actual party. Pre-game's over. There's like hella baddies walking in a big ass group. And I remember being high-key paranoid that I was just looking high as fuck, like a madman, like right in front of them. So I pulled out my calculator app and I just started typing. Alright, not really, but you've done that shit. Just pull out your phone and look preoccupied. We get to the fridge and there's nothing in there but tequila and Coronas, and we're like, fuck. And then I remember getting really dizzy after that, and I turned to Trey and he's like leaning against the wall on his phone. And I'm like, there ain't shit in there, ain't no water, no nothing. Trey's like, I got you. And he just disappears. So I'm scanning the party for anyone I know, and I'm actually faded now. I'm to the point where if I don't focus on something, I start feeling like I'm going numb. And again, I'm like, I need to do something so I don't look like a creep just standing here with bloodshot eyes. So I pull out my phone and I pour my cup into the sink and I fill it with tap water and I just sip it like I'm pretending to drink while I'm on my phone. And I remember vividly, these two girls come up to me, and to this day, I have no idea what they were saying or what I was saying, but they came up to me and say something, and I look up and I instantly lock in. I'm like, what's up? And like I said, I can't remember for the life of me what was said. I'm pretty sure they were both very drunk, but I also was extremely blasted out of my mind. So my new mission in that moment was to not make a complete and utter fool out of myself. I'm thinking they're laughing at me, and they probably were. But for what felt like an eternity, these girls are just in this mindless conversation with me, and I get saved by one of their friends who was obviously like the babysitter for the night. Like, you know, the sober girl who kind of chaperones their friends for the night? She comes through and she's just like apologizing for them. She's like, I'm so sorry. I hope they don't bother you. And I'm like, thank the Lord. I don't think I said a word throughout this entire interaction besides, yeah. And like, damn, that's crazy. But this next part is what had me fucked up for sure. So after that whole interaction, I go back to the party area and Dion and Kenny are on the pong table getting cooked. And I'm just kind of there watching, and they're actually like getting fucked at this game of pong. Like normally they were really good, but tonight they were dog shit. And they start arguing because Kenny's not taking it serious at all, and Dion is competitive as fuck. But I find Trey and he's like, bro, and hands me a water bottle. And I'm like, oh yeah, like I forgot bro just went on a whole quest to get this for me. So after that, I go to the bathroom and there's like a line of girls in front of me, and they say that Derek went in there like 20 minutes ago. Now here's where the shit hit the fan for me, because Derek was by far our most experienced THC user of the group. I bang on the door. I'm like, yo, open up. And the door opens as I'm banging on it, and Derek is just there on the bathroom floor. Like, this shit looked like a murder scene. I'm like, oh fuck, he's like throwing up and shit. And I go in there, shut the door, try to hide the evidence, and my boy is on 1 HP. I ain't never seen him this down bad. I give him my water bottle, and he told me he ate a full brownie and he's throwing up and shit. And I'm just like, oh fuck, I'm next. My tolerance was way lower than his, and I ate a full brownie too. Now, he had been drinking a lot more, but at this point, the paranoia had set in full swing for me. I pick him up, and one of the basketball guys lets him chill in his room, and I go back to the party. Dion and Kenny are both gone, and I can't find Trey anywhere. So now I'm texting the group chat, like frantically, like, where are y'all? Derek's down bad, and I got no response. I eventually learned that Dion left with some other group of people. Kenny and Trey just went back home, so I dipped out. I'm like, fuck this party, bro. I can't even function right now. I get back to the crib and immediately I grab the trash can and just start throwing up, just everything. The room is spinning and I feel like I'm being folded into some fucking origami. My head hurts, my stomach is fucking money twerking. I'm just throwing up all over the place. And my throw up is boofed. Like, I can smell the weed from the trash can. I don't know how or when, but I ended up with my pants down. So I'm in my underwear just puking in the living room floor. And the worst thing I hear is Trey giggling and recording. He's taking fucking pictures of me and shit, and he's talking about fried Oreos or some shit, and like in the video you can see me smiling, and I know, I'm just like, what the fuck is he even talking about right now? Paul and his girl were home, and they were apparently knocked out off these edibles too. It was a shit show. I remember waking up on the couch that morning and going to use the bathroom, and there's vomit in the sink and shit on the floor and on the toilet seat. Not in the toilet, on the toilet seat. It looked like a fucking psych ward in there. I go into Kenny's room and he's just laid out, tooted up with his pants down, underwear on. It looked like someone just walked in there, took his booty, and left him for dead. And we made him clean up all that shit too. We hadn't heard shit from Dion, and Derek just slept at the basketball house apparently. I also remember that next morning going to meet my boy TJ. TJ lived off campus, but his girl lived on the top floor of like these prestigious dorms that were reserved for the honors society students. So TJ was in her dorm that morning, and I came through. He's in there playing Warzone, and it's like Sunday morning, so his girl was out going to church with her family. So we're up in this room, in this dorm, and I'm telling TJ about this crazy ass night and these freaking crazy ass edibles. And he's just like hitting his pen. He's like, yeah, bro, they fucked up cooking them, whoever made them. And I'm like, yeah, for sure. I see that now. But anyways, I asked him to use the bathroom, and TJ's like, yeah, sure. So I go in there and I take a number 2, and my dump, I kid you not, my shit smelled like straight up weed. And it boofed the entire hallway. And TJ thinks I'm like in the bathroom sparking. I'm like, bro, no, I swear. Because this campus was very much a no weed campus. They were very strict about that shit. If they got caught smoking weed, you were done. So I'm telling him, no, I'm not smoking. And like clockwork, as soon as I get that out of my mouth, we hear banging on the door, and it's his girl. She's like, TJ, I swear to God, if you're in there smoking weed at my door. And we're just looking at each other like, oh, fuck. Like, you can hear her struggling for her keys to unlock the door. And TJ goes and unlocks the door to open it. And she can smell it. And we're like, we are not smoking. Like, on my dead goldfish, we are not smoking. There's no lighter. There's no weed. There's nothing here. And to make it even worse, her mom was there. Because they had just got back from church. So when I explained to her that it was my poop that was smelling like that, her mom just burst out laughing. And TJ's girl was so upset. You could see it in her face. She was just so upset with TJ. So I dapped him up. I'm like, yo, my fault, bro. But yeah, that's the story about my first and worst edible experience with the backwoods hillbilly edibles. If y'all want to hear more stories, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch y'all later.